We start with the showdown, and the Tea Party wants in exchange what they do want in exchange for keeping government open. Mark Meckler is the co-founder of the Tea Party Patriots, sir. It's great to have a leader on.
Thank you,
and you
sir.
are a leader, and it may be that you're in charge of the United States government. In this sense, you guys are calling the shots. What is your demand? Is it still absolute victory? You want all the cuts the Republicans talked about in that first House bill this year, H.R. 1, $100 billion, currently prorated to $61 billion. You want that or nothing, right?
That's what we're looking for. That's correct, Chris.
That's what you're looking for?
Absolutely.
Which means, is that the deal? Is that the deal maker, the only deal maker?
You know, we're not in Congress, so it's not our job to make the deal. Our job is to reflect the American people. 57% of the American people say they're looking for bigger cuts or shut the government down. We're reflecting that. It's up to the folks in Congress to step up to the table and actually get a deal done.
So let's ask you this. The way most people make deals, you know, you apply. So suppose you want to buy a house and you say, I'm going to pay $105 for it. And the owner says, no, I want $130. So you go somewhere in the middle there, right? That's not the way you guys do business.
Well, it is the way we do business.
No.
$100 billion is minimal compared to what
you say
really needs
that's
to be
your
done.
opening bid, though.
No, we made our opening bid a long time ago, and it was much higher. The American people spoke loud and clear in November. They wanted serious stuff done. $100 billion wasn't enough.
What was your opening bid if it wasn't 100?
2.6 cents out of every federal dollar spent. That's nothing, Chris. So doing $100 billion, that's a big.
Well, what was your opening bid if it wasn't $100 billion?
We want to see them pass a balanced budget amendment immediately.
Your opening bid at the beginning of this year, would you please acknowledge that was $100 billion?
No, that was the opening bid from the Republican Party. That's what they ran on.
What was the Tea Party's opening bid?
Tea Party doesn't put out an opening bid. We're not.
Where are you willing to be happy then with their results? If Boehner comes in tomorrow and says, you know what, I think 43, 44 billion is about right, I'm willing to go with that, what would you say?
What our people would say is it's not good enough. They should push for 100 billion.
Suppose he says 99 billion.
They'd want to push for 100 billion.
Okay, so that's your position. Let me ask you about these other things in your positioning.
Sure.
Boehner goes out there and said on the other, let's watch him. Here he is, Boehner, talking about these additional things. They're not really monetary exactly. They have to do with values.
Right.
Well, if you want to call it abortion, fine. I think it's really about birth control, regulation at the Environmental Protection Agency, things like that, about climate change, the cultural questions we argue about all the time here. Here he is talking about why he has them on his bill. Let's listen.
Our goal is real clear. We're going to fight for the largest spending cuts we can get and the policy writers that were attached to them.
Well, that's not in the clip I wanted. Another clip shows policy writers, meaning I want to have no more regulations by the EPA in terms of climate change, and I don't want to have any federal money going to Planned Parenthood. Is that where you are? Where's the Tea Party on Planned Parenthood?
Have not taken a position on those, and we're looking for fiscal responsibility. The riders are something the Republicans are pushing for their base.
So you'd be willing, as a Tea Party spokesman here on Hardball tonight, to say, if you can get me my whole $100 billion, which is now down to 61 in terms of the months left of the year, I'm not going to complain about this other stuff.
What I tell you is our
Can you answer a question?
No,
did you go to Michelle Bachmann School? I asked you a simple question. All right, will you settle for the $100 billion cuts if you don't go with these other riders?
You want me to behave like somebody who runs an organization. This is what we're told to do by our membership.
Okay, does your membership tell you they care about abortion rights or birth control even?
They tell us to go for the $100 billion. That's what we're doing.
So you have no additional demands beyond those?
We don't.
Well, that's interesting. So who in the Republican Party has the blowtorch to the back of John Boehner saying, I want no more money going for birth control at Planned Parenthood? Who says I don't want anything done on climate change? Not you guys, you say.
All I can tell you is we're pushing for $100 billion. That's what they promised in the November elections. That's what we expect them to deliver.
Let me ask you about the way this is going to work out. In the next election, you guys, how many people do you think got elected based on Tea Party support?
I don't know what the numbers are. I think
let me ask you a grand question. Do you think you got the Republicans in the majority?
The Tea Party movement, absolutely.
Okay, do you think they could lose if they don't play ball with you? They could lose their majority?
Yes.
And not playing ball with you, if Boehner's watching right now, and he may be watching it, he may have Fox on. I don't know what they watch over there. They may have CNN on, but they may be smart to have it on because you're on right now. What would you want to tell John Boehner right now in terms of what you want him to do at the White House tonight when he meets with the president and Harry Reid? What do you want him to do? Do you want him to say, Mr. President, we want $61 billion in federal cuts. That's the current rate of what would get us a $100 billion cut annually, and nothing short of that. You want him to do that? What
we want him to do is to protect America. We want him to prevent a government shutdown. We'd like to see him tell the president to encourage the Senate to pass H.R. 1. It's sitting there. They have the power to prevent a government shutdown right now, and he should ask the president.
Okay, let's talk about a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. We don't really know about how hot this country's going to get if people can't go to national parks, they can't go to Yosemite, they can't go to Smithsonian Institute, their refund checks are not coming, soldiers are not getting paid, all kinds of things we're not really fully aware of aren't going to happen when these federal employees go furloughed, they get put off the job. I don't really care about the BlackBerries not working. They can be pretty offensive at times. But what do you think is going to be the mood of the country 2-3 weeks into a government shutdown, and how are they going to feel toward the Tea Party?
I think they're going to be thrilled with the Tea Party because the Tea Party is reflecting their values. We can get the soldiers paid. There's a bill out there right now to authorize paying the military. The Democrats are standing in the way of that. The president has said he would veto that bill. I was stunned to hear him say, essentially, bring on the shutdown. He said, I'm not going to fund the military. I'm not going to sign that bill. Even if there's bipartisan support in the Senate to pass that bill, I think that's outrageous, and I think it goes against the majority of American
So how many areas of exception besides the military would you point to in a government shutdown?
I'm not sure I understand that.
Well, would you say Social Security checks should still go out?
They are going to go out regardless.
You want them to go out?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Mark Meckler, who is really deep down a politician. Join me now.